Hey there, welcome to the Valenti Vod. I am your perfect and humble leader, Chris Valenti, and we have a lot to talk about today. Elon Musk is leaving Doge. He's leaving the Trump regime in disgrace. Mind you, he also went on the news and did this interview where he's been talking smack about the big beautiful bill, which is a terrible bill. It's both small. Well, it isn't small, but it's not a big beautiful bill. It's a terrible bill. But he's been talking smack on it, and now Caroline Leavitt and Trump, everybody's trying to respond to it. We also are going to cover Trump is being called a chicken by Wall Street. It's his new thing, taco. Trump always chickens out. That's the way the Wall Street investors are planning their investments, because Trump is like, I'm putting a 145% tariff on China. And then 2 days later, he's like, never mind. So investors are no longer taking Trump seriously. And we have a lot to talk about. So let's cover this shit. And before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It costs you nothing and it helps me immensely. And if you do want to help the channel financially, please do. Become a patron on Patreon for $5. Become a member on YouTube for $5. Buy some of that Valenti Videos merch right down below and use the 40% off discount code for Vantage subscription on Ground News. This is real independent media. I've never done an ad read. I've never done a fucking conversation with a billionaire or a government. So please, if you do want to help the channel out, feel free. So the first thing we're going to start off with, let me also get that. Here we go. Is Elon's tweet. Excuse me, big burp there. Excuse me. Elon goes, as my scheduled time as a special government employee comes to an end, I would like to thank President real Donald Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending. The Doge mission will only strengthen over time as it becomes a way of life throughout the government. Just quick reminder, Doge didn't cut any waste, fraud, and abuse. Nobody was charged with fraud, not one person. The waste and abuse that they decided to cut was Medicaid, Medicare, the VA, Social Security, all of America's soft power, the CFPB, the FAA, the Department of Transportation, the SEC, just anything and everything. Coincidentally, all of the government agencies that were investigating Elon Musk and his various different companies, they were also gutted. So just very, very convenient. And let's not forget that Elon Musk also Sig Heiled on the world stage twice. So we've got a little recap of a little bit of Elon's movements here. This is from Reuters. Come on. Play the video, or I will throw you out the fucking window.
Elon Musk is leaving his role in government. A White House official confirmed the move late Wednesday, saying the billionaire's offboarding would begin the same night. The exit caps a tumultuous period since U.S. President Donald Trump returned to power, vowing to give Musk a big job.
And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps. Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Musk set out to slash government spending, saying in March he could cut at least $1 trillion off.
I'm Hitler's top guy. What do? I'm Hitler's top guy.
Federal expenditures.
If we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt.
But Doge attracted
Meanwhile, the one big beautiful bill literally increased the deficit.
controversy, with critics saying it was making indiscriminate cuts that threatened vital services without even delivering the promised savings. Many were also angered by the resulting wave of job losses, with some 260,000 roles cut from the federal workforce. The controversy may also have done
Dude, look at these fucking things. Real quick side note. If you think these things look cool, bro, you're a fucking loser. You're a dork. This looks like the way that I used to draw cars in 4th grade when I didn't know how to do curves and edges.
Harm to some of Musk's businesses.
You know what I do, by the way, whenever I'm driving and there's a Cybertruck, and you should start doing it. I point and laugh. I'm driving and I see them stopped at a red light. I just point and laugh at them, and you could see them staring at you as you go by. You would underestimate the power of pointing and laughing at somebody after they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on some stupid, hideous Nazi mobile.
Tesla sales have slumped in some markets, notably Europe, amid anger over his embrace of far-right politics in some countries. Some investors have also been concerned that Musk simply had too many roles and wasn't spending enough time at his various firms.
You know, they say I wear a lot of hats.
Me too.
That's true. Even my hat has a hat.
That's so true, brother Elon. Even my hat has a hat. Speaking of, we've got the new Valenti Videos hat. We got the new Valenti merch hat. Shameless plug real quick. You can go down to the merch store down below and you could buy some really cool Valenti Videos merch. This is actually embroidered on there. It's pretty damn cool.
Among the worries Musk faces are an aging model lineup at Tesla and a series of failed launches at rocket company SpaceX. Now he says he'll devote himself to business again and says his firms will be revived with world-changing products, including humanoid robots and robotaxis.
Yeah, he just downloaded all our information, sold it to the Russians and the Chinese, and now he's fucking out of here. Great. Thanks, Elon.
Signs of a possible rift with Trump had been apparent in recent days. On Tuesday, Musk criticized the president's big tax bill, saying it was too expensive and undermined Doge's efforts to trim the budget deficit. However, in a post on X, Musk thanked Trump for his time in government. He said the Doge mission would continue and only strengthen over time.
So,
Elon Musk is leaving his role.
Okay, so you can get this whole article. This is Reuters. I'm just going to read the beginning of this here. Billionaire Tesla CEO Elon Musk is leaving the Trump administration after leading a tumultuous efficiency drive during which he upended several federal agencies but ultimately failed to deliver the generational savings he had sought. His, quote, offboarding will begin tonight, a White House official told Reuters late Wednesday, confirming Musk's departure from the government. Musk earlier on Wednesday took to his social media platform X to give President... So we already covered that. So also, I was watching Caroline Leavitt do a live press briefing, and this was done like, I don't even know, less than an hour ago, and she was asked about it. Let's listen to how she responds to it.
And on Doge, we know that Elon Musk is leaving. Do you have an updated leadership structure for who is leading the group? Is Russ Vought involved, and what is its new mission?
Talking about Russ Vought, that's like one of the main creators of the Heritage Foundation. He wrote up Project 2025. Yes, he's got the same last name as the chief villain, Vought, from The Boys, and you do live in The Boys. But that is like one of the chief up top villains. It's like him and Curtis Yarvin at the tip top.
Now, if any.
Well, the entire cabinet is involved, and I spoke to the president about it this morning, and the entire cabinet understands the need to cut government waste, fraud, and abuse, and each cabinet secretary at their respective agencies is committed to that. That's why they were working hand in hand with Elon Musk, and they'll continue to work with the respective Doge employees who have onboarded as political appointees at all of these agencies. So
I also don't believe that Elon Musk is going to give up control of Doge. I genuinely don't. I think this is a way to get public scrutiny off of him so he and his companies can make more money. But I think that he's still going to have his grubby little paws in an illegal manner controlling Doge. Because don't forget, everything Doge was doing was already illegal. They violated court orders multiple times. So it was already illegal. The guy's fine with violating the law.
surely the mission of Doge will continue, and many Doge employees are now political appointees and employees of our government, and to the best of my knowledge, all of them intend to stay and continue this important work.
Is there a Doge leader taking the place of Mr. Musk?
Well, again, the Doge leaders are each and every member of the president's cabinet and the president himself, who is wholeheartedly committed to cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from our government. Michael.
Thank you, Caroline.
So that was her response on Doge. Okay. And we have Trump's, I guess it's a response. Grandpa here is sundowning, okay? Trump is he's about 80 years old. He's got early onset dementia. His fucking brain is leaking out of his ears, not in the way that Biden's was. But he forgets the questions that are asked him. But he was asked to respond to Elon Musk shit-talking the big, beautiful bill, and he forgot the question and went on some stupid fucking tangent. So we're going to watch that real quick. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Mr. President, Elon Musk in a television interview criticized the one big, beautiful bill, saying he was disappointed it didn't cut enough, essentially, that it undercut the Doge efforts. What's your reaction to that?
Well, the reaction's a lot of things. Number one, we have to get a lot of votes. We can't be
I'll never get over the fact that Judge Janine is behind him, dude. We live in hell. This regime is full of Fox News hosts, bro. Like, why don't you get Judge Judy in there too, you stupid fuck?
You know, we need to get a lot of support, and we have a lot of support. We had to get it through the House. The House was we have no Democrats. You know, if it's up to the Democrats, they'll take the 65% increase. You know, if that doesn't get approved, this country is going to have a 65% increase in taxes and lots of other problems, big problems.
That's not true,
almost
by the way.
bigger than that. But we'll have a 65% increase as opposed to the largest tax cut in the history of our country.
And when he's talking, he's not lying about the largest tax cut in the history of the country, but it's the tax cut is for the 0.1%, not the 1%. Like, yeah, the 1% is going to get a giant tax cut as well, but it's literally him and like 49 other people. It's the literal top 0.1%, and you're going to see it. He's going to keep on talking about we are getting a big tax cut. We. He's not talking about you. He's not talking about you. He's not you. He's not one of you. What do you think, Donald Trump? When Donald Trump says we, he's talking about the working class. Are you fucking stupid? No, he's talking about the 1%, the 0.1%, the billionaire class. That's what he's talking about. You're about to hear him say it himself.
We will be negotiating that bill, and I'm not happy about certain aspects of it, but I'm thrilled by other aspects of it. That's the way they go. It's very big. It's the big, beautiful bill, but the beautiful is because of all of the things we have. The biggest thing being, I would say, the level of tax cutting that we're going to be doing. We're going to make people really be able to. We'll have the lowest tax rate we've ever had in the history of our country.
We'll have the lowest tax rate we've ever had in the history of our country. Tax rates are different depending on your income. When he keeps saying we will have the lowest tax rate, he's genuinely talking about him and the billionaires because he believes in trickle-down economics. Well, actually, no, he doesn't believe in it. He knows it's not real. You know, trickle-down economics, it's a pile of glasses, right? A whole bunch of champagne glasses stacked up. And people think when you pour champagne into the top glass, it trickles down into the rest of the glasses. That's not true. When you pour the champagne into the top glass, the glass is magical and keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger so that it stays in the fucking top glass and never trickles down. And he's going to say this right now, that by giving tax cuts to the 1%, the ultra billionaires, then they can pay their workers more. That's not true. And we know this. We know this because we tried this. Reaganomics, when you give tax cuts to the ultra wealthy, they take that money and they reinvest it into their businesses. They don't spend that money. They don't, out of the graciousness of their hearts, pay their workers more. That has never once happened historically.
And tremendous amounts of benefit.
Listen.
Really be able to. We'll have the lowest tax rate we've ever had in the history of our country, and tremendous amounts of benefit are going to the middle-income people of our country.
Listen to that again. Listen to that one more time, okay?
We'll have the lowest tax rate we've ever had in the history of our country.
We will have the lowest tax rate we've ever had in the history of our country.
And tremendous amounts of benefit are going to the
tremendous amounts of benefit are going to
income people of our country.
To middle
low
income
and
people.
middle.
So the tax cuts are not for the middle class. He calls them middle income people. Fucking idiot. He's saying that by giving the tax cuts to the ultra wealthy, they're going to be able to create benefits for the middle income people. That's what he's saying with his fucking chest.
Income people of our country. So we're going to see what happens because the Senate, as you know, is negotiating.
And again, please, guys, this question was about Elon Musk. This is my point about Grandpa is sundowning. This question was, hey, Elon Musk said the big beautiful bill is bad. What is your reaction to what Elon Musk said? He forgot the question.
With us, and they have to then go back to the House, and it's got a way to go. But I have to say, Speaker Johnson and Thune have done an incredible job. John Thune has done a fantastic job, and they're working together with me and others. And I think we have an amazing, if we pull this off, remember, we have 0 Democrat votes because they're bad people. There's something wrong with them. They'll let people pour into our country. Single biggest problem is we had 21 million people pour into our country, probably higher than that. And they're people that weren't supposed to be here. And many of those people are bad. Murderers, drug dealers, the mentally insane. They were closing mental institutions all over the world, not South America, all over the world. They're coming into our country, and we're getting them out. And we're having a hard time because some judges aren't making it very easy for us, and it's tough enough. They approved that. They allowed that to happen to our country. We don't have one Democrat vote. And if I were a Democrat, I'd be voting for this bill, and I'd get elected to any position I want as a Democrat. They're crazy. They're voting for a 65% tax increase, and they're only doing it for hatred. They're not doing it for any reason. They know it's terrible. Terrible politics, in my opinion. But so we have no Democrat votes. That means we have to get almost all Republican votes. And I think we're very close to doing that. I think it'll be very successful. Yep.
Sir, the question was, what do you think about Elon Musk criticizing the bill? What the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about? Now, moving on to the next subject here, Wall Street has come up with this new acronym that they're coining for Trump, TACO. Trump always chickens out. And this is because, like, as you know, Trump is like, we're putting 145% tariff on China, and then he pulls out the next day. We're putting a 90% tariff on Canada, and then he pulls out the next day. And investors, if there's one thing that investors need or like, it's predictability. Because when they're investing their money, they're looking months, if not years, if not decades ahead. They're like, well, the stock is low, but this company's going to boom, so we're going to invest in this. Like, that's just how it works. That's how the stock market works. You need predictability. And Trump, he brings chaos. So they've coined this new term, TACO. Trump always chickens out, because now they're learning. You know, it's like when you keep losing against a boss in Elden Ring, and then suddenly you start to realize its moveset. Well, Trump's moveset is pussying out. That's what he does. He always pussies out. So now they're getting used to it, and they coined this new term, and Wall Street has come out and they're saying it. Everyone is talking taco trade. Investors say don't count on Trump. Don't count on Trump chickening out. Okay, and he was questioned about this, and he really doesn't like it. And I've come up with a theory here, which is Trump is old. He's 80. Okay, and old heads need to be insulted the way old heads were insulted growing up. We can call Trump a fascist all we want. We can call him Mango Mussolini. We can call him a Nazi. But the thing is, I don't think he really knows what those things mean. I don't think he knows what a fascist is. I don't think that hurts him. But, you know, he's the type of guy, like, you know, call him a chicken, call him a wussy, call him a phony, call him a fraud. Those are the things that hurt his fifis. You know, Joe Biden used to say fucking words like malarkey. This is what we're dealing with. You're talking about people who were born in the 1940s. So when he gets called a chicken, it really does actually hurt his fifis. So we're going to watch this.
Mr. President, Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on the tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out? Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country. And because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, okay, I'll give you till Janine. I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, we'll meet anytime you want. And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? Because
yeah, I do. I call that chickening out. You said you're going to put 145% tariff on China. China's part of the BRICS nations. They got 48% of the world fucking population. They don't need to trade with the U.S. You realize that. The entire flow of Chinese goods stopped coming into the U.S. You almost shit the fucking bed when you realize your own constituents can't survive increasing the goods of every single import in America by like fucking 145%. You doofus.
Because we have $14 trillion now invested, committed to investing when Biden didn't have practically anything. This country was dying. You know, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I went to Saudi Arabia. The king told me.
The king.
He said, you got the hottest we have the hottest country in the world right now.
The king.
6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation. You set a number. And if you go down, you know, if I set a number at a ridiculous high number and I go down.
You hear that? If I set a number at a ridiculously high number and then I go down, he's admitting that his tariffs are ridiculous. He's admitting. He's calling you stupid, you MAGA, like you dumbasses who were like, oh, yeah, no, Trump, we love Trump tariffs. He's calling you stupid. He's saying, yeah, no, I'm using a ridiculously high number. It's called the fart of the steel, dude.
A little bit, you know, a little bit. They want me to hold that number, 145% tariff. Even I said, man, that really got up. You know how it got?
Even you said it? So who actually did it then? Are you not in charge? Who's the auto pen? Even you said, wow, that got up there. How did that get up there?
Because of fentanyl and many other things, and you added it up. I said, where are we now? We're at 145%. I said, woo. That's
Where are we now? What do you mean, where are we now? I thought you were the fart of the steel guy. I thought you knew exactly. I thought you were the big negotiation guy. Man, where are we at now? You want to know what this is, Dolan? You want to know what this is, Donnie? You have been carried your entire life, born into so much wealth. Remember, oh, I got a small loan from my father, a small loan of $1 million. You've been carried along your entire life. You've always had people propping you up, and they've done all the work for you, and you were just a fucking puppet, dog. And that's what's going on now. You're looking around going, how did it get to 145? Who did that? Probably Stephen Miller. You know, probably Pete Hegseth, probably J.D. Vance, probably the people around you who keep using you like a fucking puppet because you're a goddamn dipshit, Donnie.
high. That's high. They were doing no business whatsoever, and they were having a lot of problems. We were very nice to China. I don't know if they're going to be nice to us, but we were very nice to China. And in many ways, I think we really helped China tremendously because, you know, they were having great difficulty because...
Oh, yeah, make China great again, right? China first, right?
We were basically going cold turkey with China. We were doing no business because of the...
Exactly! This is why you chickened out! China said, all right, you want to put the... All right, then we're just not going to fucking trade with you. And then you fucking shit the bed! Because you realize, oh, fuck, dude, they just called my bluff. Oh, fuck!
The tariff because it was so high. But I knew that. But don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question. Go ahead.
Don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question.
To me, that's the nastiest question.
To me, that's the nastiest question I've ever heard. Oh, Johnny. Oh, no. That's the nastiest question I've ever heard. Poor Donnie. Oh, poor guy. Listen, that's fucking pathetic. Donald Trump is a fucking loser. So listen, I'm going to keep on streaming. We're going to come up with some more news for you. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And remember, this is real independent media. I have no fucking funding, okay? Never had a conversation with an advertiser, billionaire, government, any of that. So if you do want to help support the channel, please do. You help me more than you know. And a huge, huge, huge thank you. A huge shout out to every single one of the patrons and every single one of the members. You guys are fantastic. I literally couldn't do this shit without you. I couldn't do this shit without you. So I do appreciate you guys. Make sure you buy some merch. You do everything you got to do. And one last thing, click that video over there. I promise you, it's an absolute banger. Have a good one.